Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Badness.
Ah!
I had the same reaction watching it.
See, I didn't scream then because of your sudden delivery. I screamed because you said Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Ah!
See?
Don't do that to me.
This of all of Phase 4, this is quite comfortably my least favorite thing. Quite comfortably.
Yeah.
Like I liked Eternals more than this.
Yeah.
There are some fun moments, I think. Some isolated, decently well done moments.
Yeah.
But overall, it's just nothing.
Well, this is why we really see that the
Take 2.
The multiverse concept is actually kind of shit. Thank you for the take 2, by the way.
No worries. Yeah.
There's no potential here. It's the colourful locations. Let's go to Lego World. Let's go to Minecraft World. Let's go to
the Paint World. Dinosaur World.
Dinosaur World.
And this is all explored in like 30 seconds in like halfway through the film.
Yeah, the possibilities literally have no beginning.
Yeah. The Multiverse of Madness occurs for like, half a minute.
Doctor Strange and the handful of universes that are kind of a bit eccentric.
Doctor Strange
isn't quite a good title.
Doctor Strange in the 2 universes he actually visits.
Yeah, the ones he spends time in.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think how should we do this? Should we talk about American Chavez first?
First, yeah. America Chavez, I think, is a pretty good character.
How so?
Moving on. I think Jodie Gomez, who plays her,
she's a charismatic young actress.
She's got a nice charisma about her that I found easy to attach onto.
She's the MCU's Rey.
In what way?
Not much there on the page, but the actor can bring something to it, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll disagree on your interpretation of Rey, but we'll talk more about that another time.
I'm sure there's another podcast in there. So.
There is. Boy, howdy, is there another podcast in there.
So, should we start at the beginning of the film?
Sure. Doctor Strange dies.
I'm sorry?
At the beginning of the film.
Oh, a version of Doctor Strange. God, did you not follow this? So
but that's how it opens.
That is how it opens. Yeah. So, a version of Doctor Strange dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to rescue Chavez from an octopus space monster.
Yes.
Who is after her.
Yes.
Who I believe has been sent on, spoilers, Wanda's behalf to capture America Chavez to use her universe teleporting magical ability.
She has the power to travel through the multiverse.
That didn't exist, mind you, until Loki turned up. So they kind of get away from it, but then it corners them.
Yeah.
And that version of Doctor Strange is like, right, I'm going to kill you to stop it from getting you.
Yeah.
And then she escapes.
And then a different octopus shows up.
Is it a different octopus?
Yeah.
Not the same one?
No, the one that in the beginning is like this kind of origami paper.
Right. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And then you got like an actual like octopus with like one eye that attacks them in the city.
I assumed it was the same one, just in a different form. Why would you have two octopus? Why would you have 2 unrelated octopus monsters?
You've got 2 unrelated Doctor Strangers.
Well, they're not.
It's the multiverse.
Don't just say that. Shrug.
Why? That was just my impression of Kevin Feige going into this saga.
It's the multiverse.
It's the multiverse.
What do you want about? What do you want?
But
it's the funniest verse we've ever had. We just get it working. Doctor Strange fights it, beats it, meets America Chavez, learns who she is, and vaguely what she's about. Then, right, help me out here. Does he go to the Sorcerer Supreme first?
No.
Because he's been demoted, by the way.
Yeah, that's structured in Spider-Man, is because he was caught in a snap and Wong wasn't. Wong is now the new Sorcerer Supreme. But yeah, he goes to Wanda.
Oh, yes. Oh, God.
There's an inside joke if you want to watch our other videos.
Watch our Nuzlocks. They're great.
It's fun, yeah. And here we have the best and worst part of this film is Wanda. So off the back of WandaVision, where Wanda enslaved a town to enact her sitcom dream. in this like fantasy reality, she created the idea of having 2 kids. And since then, dropping the guise of this town and realizing she did a bad thing, but even though none of them will ever know what she sacrificed for them.
What did she do? What did she sacrifice again?
What did she sacrifice for them?
It doesn't matter. Let's just continue.
Yeah, I see you're one of the writers of WandaVision. But Yeah, she got a hold of the Darkhold, which is like this fantasy demon book thing.
Yeah.
At the end of WandaVision, and we see her studying it. And now she's, in that time in between, she's discovered that there are endless universes, and her kids exist in one of them, and she wants to go to that universe to be with her kids. And she's going to steal America Chavez's multiverse traveling power to do it.
Endless universes, mind you, that didn't exist until about 10 minutes ago when Loki, a version of Loki, killed the clown at the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige's like sitting at a desk like...
You've done it again.
Kevin Feige, I've done it again. But I just imagine him like that dog in that meme, like sitting at a table with a fire going on around him. This is fine.
Right, so she reveals to Doctor Strange that she's evil.
Yes.
The Darkholm corrupts you?
Yes.
Does it?
It does, yeah.
Okay. They fight?
She says that, she says, hand her over or I will come knocking at Kamatage. And she does. They put up a good fight, but...
They don't.
No.
She absolutely...
she just decimates
them and tanks them all.
Their first resort is like, fire a gun and put up a shield. And she just instantly gets through.
Yeah. They were pretty useless. I don't know why any of them were in the film.
I realized during this film that this is like by far like my least... This corner of the MCU is my least interested. I'm the least invested in.
Yeah,
this.
it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not very well fleshed out, I don't think.
No, and I didn't really care for the first Doctor Strange, and this didn't really get me back on board.
Oh, we haven't even mentioned what he was up to.
Oh yeah,
his girlfriend from the first movie is dead. Or is she married?
No, she's married. Yeah,
same thing. And he's a bit upset about that. Anyway, moving on. She's just murdered Kamatage. Kamatage?
Yeah. And it's at that moment that America's multiverse powers activate, and she and Doctor Strange are in a spot of bother in the multiverse.
spot of bother up at Elroy Farm for Doctor Strange.
And they end up in a universe where green is red.
That's true. Certain reviewers had a big problem with that as well.
Which of all the things to take from this film...
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing.
Who could possibly give a shit? Well, green isn't red. It's just that they're both swapped around for what they mean.
Red means stop. Red means go now.
green
means stop. Yeah.
Yes. And then did they go to the universe of the memory store after this?
Yes, that's like immediately after, yeah.
So this is the most embarrassing piece of exposition writing I've ever seen.
Boy and how.
Yes. So they go to a universe that has a memory shop.
So where you can step on a panel and explore past memories in your life.
But I don't know how you would do that transaction.
Do they even do it? Like, is there even a transaction involved?
I don't know. Could you not just do it the old-fashioned way and remember? Is that so beyond people?
Maybe in this universe, people don't have memories.
Maybe it's just for like people with like issues, like illnesses that prevent them from remembering. But why would you? It seems really mean to charge them. And to make them come to your store in the middle of nowhere to stand on a fucking panel.
It's purely to give exposition on America Chavez's backstory.
And this is where it's cemented for me that she's the worst character in the MCU.
Oh, really?
Yes. So her backstory, and I pissed myself laughing when I saw it. She steps on the panel, and we see this play out in front of her. She comes from a world where... Did she have two mums? Or were there just two women unrelated to one another?
No, they were her mums.
She had two mums, and they're all just hanging around wherever they are.
Then it's not clear where they are or what they're even doing there.
No. And a bee lands on her. She's a kid. A bee lands on her.
I forgot about that.
And in sheer terror, she opens a hole to another universe that sucks her parents in. That's what happened, right? I didn't just I wasn't just in the middle of a fever dream.
No, that's what I forgot about the bee.
Because she bees. So, yeah, I don't know what to make of that backstory. I'm not sure what it adds. Who could possibly give a shit?
They're just purely so America isn't just a complete blank slate.
It's so ridiculous and over the top.
Yeah. Then they meet this universe's version of Mordo, who was a character from the previous movie.
And I had no idea who the fuck he was. I thought he was the guy from Firefly.
He is.
No, I know he plays the same character.
You thought it was the same character?
I thought it was the same character. I was so confused. Dude, what the fuck is going on now?
Oh, man. And just like on a side note, Chiwetel Ejiofor is one of my favorite actors.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's a terrific actor, but he has had no luck in the MCU.
I don't recall him being in Doctor Strange.
He was kind of like, have you seen Green Lantern?
Yes.
He was like the Mark Strong character in that, but essentially, where he's kind of like a dickhead trainer, but then by the end he's a villain.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they meet this universe's version of Mordo, who seems to be a nice guy, and he claims to have been best friends with this universe's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Who, in this universe, when Thanos attacked, because in this universe Thanos also attacked. It was after the stones, I think.
I assume it could have been after the memory hut.
Yeah. In this universe, Doctor Strange used the Darkhold to defeat Thanos, but then because the Darkhold corrupts whoever uses it, this universe's Avengers had to kill Doctor Strange, but to the public he's presented as this hero.
Yeah. He's kind of a martyr figure almost, yeah. Anyway, then we move on.
and then we find out Mordo is actually kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And he captures these guys, and they meet this universe's version of Christine, who is Doctor Strange's the woman he loved from the previous universe.
Oh, is that her name?
Christine.
Oh, right. I just call her the love interest.
Yeah. Well, she basically is, but I only remember because they said her name like so many times in this movie.
That is true, actually. Yeah, I should have remembered her name.
Rachel McAdams deserves a lot better.
Yeah.
And she has them captured and contained, and they're trying to study America Chavez's multiverse power.
Right.
And then they go and meet.
This is the scene.
This is the scene. You know, in our Crimes of Grindelwald video, we kept referring to the scene. This is this movie's The Scene.
Yeah,
I would argue.
Is this movie's version of that, yeah. So
they meet the Illuminati.
Which is a horrible name for a start, but
it's accurate to the comics.
I know.
But comics make mistakes.
The comics are fucking nonsensical, awful, bollocking shit.
Jesus,
all right? Gives a
I was just gonna call the name the Illuminati that, but to call all comics.
Look, if you're into comics, you're into comics.
Yeah,
most people aren't.
Yeah,
superhero comics are really niche. And they're really niche because they're written in certain ways. There's a handful of really good ones. 90% of them are crap.
They're very silly. They're silly. They're very, silly. Very silly.
Just crap.
Okay.
Not very good. But if you enjoy it, you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right.
But there would have been nothing wrong with just declaring this team the Avengers in this universe.
Yeah.
But they call it the Illuminati just to make some...
Or the useless.
some middle-aged boys come. Or whatever.
Middle-aged boy.
I meant to say men, but...
No, I think you're...
I think I was right, actually.
No, I think you were correct.
Yeah.
So we meet them, and it is comprised of Patrick Stewart, who plays Professor X.
Reprising the role, although he seems to be portraying a version of the animated Professor X rather than the one from the movies.
Yes, which is strange. It would have been a lot better if it was just animated Professor X and everyone else was in live action. That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. Because before they get to this universe, Doctor Strange and America Chavez travel through like a bunch of different universes, and they seem to adopt the aesthetics of that universe.
Yeah.
So that would have been really cool.
Yeah. But they didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
No.
But we have Peggy Carter as Captain Britain.
Yes.
Which is an obvious pick, but okay.
Sure.
We have Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, which is a bit offbeat, but also not that interesting, I would say.
No, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a choice.
But these two, I think, are the most significant. And Mordo is on the team as well, for some reason.
That dick.
The two most significant. And the one that caught me most off guard, Black Bolt.
Yes.
Back from the Inhuman show. And then we have John Krasinski playing Reed Richards, which that was like, that's not okay. They threw the fanboys a bone because people wanted that casting, but Black Bolt. Wow.
Boring casting.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with, I think you said it when I first brought it up.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Because John Krasinski is, people have been rallying for him to be Mr. Fantastic for years now because he looks like Reed Richards from the comics in the most recent issues. And he is a good looking Reed Richards, but he doesn't convey his character at all. Mordo introduces him as the smartest man alive, Reed Richards.
And it literally looks like a janitor has walked into the room by mistake.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Q or something. He's just wearing the costume. Yeah, he looks he doesn't have that aura.
No.
He doesn't have dad energy, you know what I mean?
He does. Yeah, he has Jim from The Office energy.
Yeah, he does. But he has, I'm a bit of a, kind of an office wanker.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And in the moments like, following that when he's speaking, there is nothing about it that conveys, such intelligence. And especially in his final scene in the movie.
Intelligence, authority, seriousness, all of it's not there.
No, and that's all of those things are, I would say, really integral to who Mr. Fantastic is.
Mr. Fantastic is a dad, I think, fundamentally. Yes. Even when he doesn't have, his own kids, like Johnny and Ben are the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four is a family. Like, even just take the kids aside, they're a family, and he is the dad figure.
Yes.
And yeah, there is just nothing to that here.
No energy.
So they threw the fanboys a bone by casting him. I hope he doesn't come back for the Fantastic Four movie.
John Krasinski, you're fired.
But yeah, I think pretty much my thoughts on John Krasinski also applied to Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Who I think he looks the part as Doctor Strange, like dead on.
Visually, he's fine.
Visually he's perfect. But Doctor Strange as a character, I just don't find very interesting because he's just kind of smarmy dickhead.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really been anything else since then.
And I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch is a leading man either.
No.
I think he's a very bland actor.
One of my biggest takeaways from this was, because there was a long gap between this and the first film.
Yeah.
It's like a 6-year gap. But Cumberbatch has done 6 of these now. 2 Doctor Strange films, 2 Avengers films, Thor Ragnarok, and something else. Spider-Man, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the last movie.
Yeah.
And so that, and I think that is 6 examples where both Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange as a character are better in supporting roles.
Yes, all of them.
Much of them, yeah.
I just don't like him as an actor. I fall asleep when he's on the screen.
No, okay, well, I think he is a good actor. I just think
he's fine. He's just he plays intelligent characters, and I just don't think he's that good at it.
Yeah, and I think he's fine as Doctor Strange. I just think there's nothing about him that really brings out, that makes the character more appealing or more, you want to follow this guy around.
No, he's a bit part player.
Yeah, exactly.
At the very most, yeah. So what do they want with Doctor Strange anyway? This council of geniuses.
Yes, all geniuses. We'll get back to that.
Yes.
They want to, because Doctor Strange in their universe used the Darkhold. I could be misremembering this, but because he used the Darkhold, then they had to wipe him out. And it's very funny because Black Bolt just says, "I'm sorry." And then it proceeds to get louder and louder and louder. And then their universe's Doctor Strange is just no longer there.
He just disappears.
It's pretty much, they might as well have had 2 smoking boots where he used to stand.
Black Bolt's awesome.
Black Bolt is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think because Doctor Strange in their universe used the Darkhold, it's threatening to have any Doctor Strange around because he might do the same thing. So I think they want to kill Doctor Strange.
Right.
All versions of him. I could be wrong. Does that sound familiar?
I think you're probably right, but I don't know how, outside of getting really lucky and one of them just turning up on their doorstep, I don't know how they would accomplish that. I suppose they're trying I suppose they're trying to get America Chavez's powers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they can get it in a nice way, so.
No. But this movie doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It falls apart every time you think about it.
It really does. But anyway, one important thing before we follow on to the plot that we forgot to mention is that in the MCU, the dreams that you have are actually different, you in different universes actually happening.
I forgot about this shit.
Yeah. This is a key part to the movie.
Yeah.
But the dreams you have are taking place in other multiverses, which is a concept I think is actually quite cool.
Yeah. And Wanda takes somebody over.
Yeah, because dream walking is
she takes herself over, right?
Yeah, you can step into another version of yourself in another universe if you use a Darkhold or have used the Darkhold, and that's what she does. They sense a threat, and they all go to confront her, and she just annihilates every single one of them.
To use wrestling parlance, she jobs them out. She completely fucking annihilates them. So Reed Richards, the smartest man alive.
I'm the smartest man alive.
Might as well have had a neon fucking sign above his head.
And a dunce cap.
So he decides to go up to her and he decides to speak to her.
Yeah, he's trying to reason with her.
Even though, do they know she's got the Darkhold at this point?
I think they do, but they underestimate. They think, we've handled Thanos, we can take her on.
Right.
Even though, and the smartest man alive, you think he could like try and gauge that the situation could be more threatening than Thanos. Yeah. It was a possibility.
Yeah. So he immediately reveals to her that their trump card is Black Bolt, who can kill her just by speaking to her. He even has a line, doesn't he? What does he say?
Wanda, Black Bolt can destroy you with one word from his mouth.
And what's her reply, Greg?
What mouth? And then
we cut to Black Bolt.
We cut to a shot of like his eyes, and then it zooms out, and he just doesn't have a mouth anymore.
It's gone.
And then he kind of starts panicking, and he's clasping it where his mouth used to be, and then he screams, and it blows the back of his head out.
That was awesome.
That was easily the most gruesome thing in the MCU so far.
That was the one thing you hired Sam Raimi. That's the one thing Sam Raimi had any kind of creative on.
Definitely, yeah. Which is like, that was him all over. The problem for me with this movie, among the many problems I have with this movie, is that it would have been, and this was never going to be this way, but it would have been at its best if it was a Sam Raimi movie with Marvel trimmings.
Yes.
But it was a Marvel movie with Sam Raimi trimmings.
Yes. And then she kills Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he sees Black Bolt drop dead, and his next thought is, like, I'm going to stretch my arm at her. and she just turns him into Swiss cheese.
The smartest man alive.
Yeah, no, he gets
smartest cheese alive.
Not anymore, the smartest cheese dead.
Well, and then Peggy Carter has the Captain America line.
So after Black Bolt and Mr. Fantastic die, Wanda fights Peggy Carter and Captain Marvel for a bit.
The Pegster.
God, that's a boss name. Imagine rolling up and being like, I'm the Pegster.
Oh, God.
But yeah, she says, I can do this all day, which...
She was proven immediately wrong.
Yeah, she dies immediately.
She was cut in half with her own shield. And then, so Captain Marvel, at this point in the MCU, does not seem to be killable or beatable in any way, shape or form.
No, like, the worst she suffered was like Thanos hit her with a power stone. And she didn't get back up, but she didn't die. She recovered. She was fine. She
was all right. Yeah.
She
walked it off.
On like a cosmic level, she can be beaten, but only on a cosmic level.
If you have something that contains infinite energy, she can be momentarily inconvenienced.
Exactly.
But in this fight,
if you have like a big slab of rock, you wouldn't
drop it on her.
You think she'd get away from it, okay? But no.
You'd think it would just break around her and she'd be fine.
Yeah, she'd just like look around and be like, oh, what happened here?
Yeah.
But no, like she gets flung to the ground and Wanda drops a statue on her and she dies immediately.
Yeah. So anyway.
And that's the end of the Illuminati.
Well, that's not true. There's one more to go.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Professor X was in this movie.
Poor Patrick Stewart.
He can't catch a break as this character.
Whoever wrote this film is a big fan of James Corden.
You've lost me.
Have you never seen the clip where...
Oh, yes, no, I have.
he fucking rips James Corden a new one on stage.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, James Corden probably wrote this movie.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe that's why it's so bad.
That's why it sucks, yeah.
So, so she kills Professor X in a dream world, I guess.
Yeah, so Professor X tries to reach into his universe's Wanda's mind and save her.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Sorry.
Anyway, but original universes... Oh, yeah. The universes have names, have numbers. So OG MCU we've been dealing with for the past 10 years is 616.
The comics one is 616.
Well, according to the movies, this one is 616 as well.
Essentially, the movies of the new canon then.
It looks like
full new canon, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, I hope you enjoy that, fanboys. And the one we're currently in right now is 818.
Right.
So, yeah, Professor X tries to reach Wanda 818, but Wanda 616 inside his and her mind kills him.
Yeah. Should we just skip to the end?
Let's skip to the end.
I think we've got the gist of this shit.
We've kind of rambled a lot. We've talked about this one way too long.
Yeah, look, Wanda wants America Chavez. America Chavez sucks.
Yeah, she wants to travel the multiverse to reach her kids, which Wanda is amazing as an act. Like Wanda's Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah, she's great in this film. She's written horribly.
Yeah,
like after the one that we've seen for all these years, who has suffered so much, been through so much, been through so many adventures, made so many connections. Here she is only reduced to, I just want my children. And
children that never existed.
Never even existed.
She knew them for like a week.
Yeah. There's nothing there's nothing else to her in this movie.
Anyway, she dies, and
Which
does she kill herself?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it sucks. So like at the end of this movie, Doctor Strange and 818 Christine end up in another universe, and then they dreamwalk. Doctor Strange dreamwalks into the dead Doctor Strange we saw at the beginning of this movie, who's currently in 616 universe, and he uses that dead body to try and take down Wanda, and America uses her power to take Wanda to a universe where her kids actually exist, and Wanda realizes she's actually been doing terrible things this whole time.
Yeah, she's just now worked that out.
Yeah, exactly.
After she's murdered like 1 million people.
Yeah, way to go, genius.
Was there even a post-credit sting? What was
Okay, I will say this movie has both the worst MCU post-credit scene so far and the best MCU post-credit scene so far.
Okay.
Shut up, bud.
Oh.
I'm sorry, bud. The worst one is the first one in the middle of the credits, where Doctor Strange is just walking down the street. Charlize Theron shows up in a purple costume.
Singing, "Oh, my baby, dum." Sorry.
But she's like, Doctor Strange, you've caused a problem in the multiverse, and you and I are going to fix it. And she opens up a portal, and they jump into it.
And who is she?
Her name is Clea. She's a character from the comics. They don't say her name in the movie. So I think 90% of the people who went to see this movie was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And that's just, it feels like a parody of what an MCU post-credit scene is. It's sort of like, new character shows up, you and I have got to do this thing, let's go do it, and then it ends.
It's like an SNL sketch, yeah.
It totally is, yeah.
What's the second one?
The second one is actually great.
Yeah.
And it's, when Doctor Strange first arrives in the 818 universe with America Chavez, they meet this guy played by Bruce Campbell.
Yes.
Sam Raimi regular. He plays like a fast food street guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you need to pay for that food. And then Doctor Strange casts a spell on him to beat himself up.
Which is really dickish.
Really dickish.
He's just an honest vendor.
Yeah, like that guy didn't do anything wrong.
No.
And Doctor Strange casts that spell and he says, it'll wear off in about 3 weeks.
In about 3 weeks?
Yeah, he says that. It's like, he said that and I thought, holy shit, why?
I'm pretty sure he'd be dead from blunt force trauma.
Totally. There's no way. Like, he said it for comedy, obviously.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, the final post-credit scene of the movie is we cut back to this guy, to Bruce Campbell, who's been beating himself up. He looks super tired. And then it finally wears off as he's about to punch himself. And he laughs gleefully. And then the camera zooms down on his face and he says, it's over. And I thought that was very, very funny.
Sure, but that was actually designed to be the parody of MCU post-credit bollocks, and the other one was the serious one.
But it was totally the other. Well, it wasn't serious, this one, but it felt. I enjoyed it more as a post-credit scene than the actual one because that felt like a parody. I
said it in part one, and I'll repeat it here. Zack Snyder, in his wildest dreams, could not come up with scenarios as disturbing as what these MCU writers are currently coming up with.
Yeah, like
beating himself unmercifully for 3 weeks.
Yeah, without rest, without food, water.
Horrific.
That's like for no reason. He wasn't doing anything wrong.
Budget. What do you think?
MCU Phase 4, 200 million.
Yes.
Could it be a little more?
It apparently it's 200 million.
Okay.
So box office. This is depressing.
This one was scheduled. I mean, I found it depressing because this one was apparently meant to hit 1 billion.
Yes.
And it fell short.
Just short.
Yeah.
But it's still a bit too much. 955 million. Yeah. So they're going to keep making multiverse shit. They're not going to stop.
Great.
It's surprisingly forgettable.
Yeah.
And on that subject, let's move on.
Let's move on.